30 seconds before I start. So today I won't be going in depth too much with like VLOOKUPs, pivot tables, as those are all things you can learn. But I think getting more of the fundamental things down, like moving around Excel, how to work with functions are more important. And once you're done with a lot of that, you can learn things on YouTube, Wall Street Prep, Reddit. There's really a TikTok guy that goes over like some of the things that I'm gonna go over today too. So he's pretty cool. But yeah, we can get started now. So the first thing we'll be going over are like just movements with shortcuts. So a lot of times here, as Patrick mentioned, you're not trying to use your mouse all the time because sure, with like data sets this small, it's really, it's fine. You can go like this and like, oh, don't do that. You can like move around and stuff, right? But a really key thing is use your arrow keys to move around. And like, whoa, cool, how do I highlight things now? Well, you actually hit your shift key and you move your arrow at the same time to hide a lot of things. So this is how you can efficiently get a lot of data to edit it. And let's say you have a lot of data and you want to get to like this side to this side really quickly. Well, if you have like a lot, your fingers gonna get tired doing this all day, right? So you hold the control key on your keyboard. You can go to the end of the data set here, and that's how you move around really quickly. So combined with the shift key, if you hold control and shift, it'll hide the whole row and you go down and do the whole box. And another key that you can start utilizing is delete key in your keyboard that can just delete the whole thing. And Control Z is to undo. So just learning how to do this like really smoothly can help you get around Excel a lot faster and will make it so a mouse is not the most efficient way later on. And just to clarify, okay, on the Mac, I actually have a MacBook right here just to see if I can, learn it at the same time. And I think it is Command and arrow keys, I believe. So let me try here. And yeah, so Command and arrow key is the same thing as Control and arrow key. So that'll be helping you move across the data set from one side to the other like this. And the shift is just acts the same way. Yeah. So that's how you get things hidden. And then next will be just inputting formulas. Yeah, it sounds really simple, but a lot of times this is what people do. They go like this for some, and then they like look at the box number like, oh, okay, then it's C18, right? And then they can put a comma and they can put F18. But that's not always the fastest way. So when you have a function, when you do equal sum, and then you can click tab to get it, your cursor is already on the box that's highlighted here, and you're just moving up and down to pick which box you're using. So let's say you want to use this box here, and you put a comma, your thing goes back to the original box with the sum. Okay, I'm literally pointing at my monitor, you can't see my finger. So this thing here, and you just go back up and pick another box here, and when you're finished, you can end parentheses to close it. So if you want to do it with a bunch of boxes, you just go here, hold the shift key to get all your data here. And I spelled average wrong. Don't do that. So average, there's no mean key. Same thing, you can just go up and shift arrow key for all of it, or you can do shift control, all of the thing here, close parentheses, and you have the average. So all these like the control and shift and arrow keys help you move around Excel a lot faster, and that will make your work a little bit more efficient. And then next will be editing boxes. So a lot of times people like double click to edit and then find the cursors here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Let's go here. So a lot of people will double click here to find the word they want to just delete. So let's say you want to delete the word first here. What you want to do is kind of the same concept as moving around data boxes. So from one end to the other, it's holding control and moving your mouse here. And then that's how you find which word you want to delete. And you want to delete the whole first word, you just hold control shift and then backspace. So this makes it a lot easier to edit boxes. And instead of double clicking each box, an easier way is to click F2. And then here you can start deleting. So F2, Shift, Control, or just Control first, Control left, and then Control Shift delete. And you can do the same thing here. So that's how you would be editing boxes a lot more efficiently, and you don't need to be using mouse to click here. And if you have broad out essay, you don't have to like look around and see like the eye is tiny here. So that'll be really efficient for you to use. And something that I always found useful was how to add columns and how to add rows really fast with shortcuts. So a lot of people, you can do this where you do like insert and then you add a new column here. But when you're adding multiple, it takes a long time to right click and do that. So a shortcut would be, I'm not sure what it is for Mac, but I guess you're on Mac, you can just do this, you know, it's okay. But if you're on Windows, one of the things here you can do is Alt I C. So Alt I C adds a column here. And you want to add a row, it's just Alt I R. Control space, Command, Control plus space. Yeah, thank you. That's really helpful for the people on Mac. But yeah, so it's really useful when you're adding columns or rows to just do Alt I R or Alt I C to make it a lot more easier to add more columns. And we'll be using this later in the next page here for cleanup data. And then next will be just movement and formula. So like before, it's really annoying to type all these formulas again. So let's say you have a company here and you have year 1 and you have year 2, year 3, 4, 5, whatever. And you already wrote down the formula here that's like adding and subtracting everything for revenue. So how you don't want to type the formula again and again. And yeah, thanks, Young. And dragging it is also an option, but it takes a long time. So you pick the function you already wrote here and you shift and you highlight all the boxes that you want to move the formula to. And then the next step would be to hit Control R. So Control R is like going to the right, hence the R, and you're moving all the formulas to the right. So you're just essentially copying all the formulas so that it's the same one, but for each column here. So I'll show it again down here. So you want this formula. So G49 minus G50, which are these two boxes here, subtracting each other. You want to copy that all down here. So you hold the shift and you go all the way over here and you do Control R. And that will help speed up a lot of your work, especially here's like a real life example where you might have multiple years and you're calculating a lot of things. So this will make it a lot faster. And if you want to move the function down, it's the same concept where you're hiding a bunch of things, but instead of Control R now, it's Control down. So that will help you a lot with moving around the cell. So can I get like a thumbs up if anything, if you're all good? If you have any questions, anything you want me to go over again, then all right, perfect. Good. Okay. Well, next is something I think is really important before you're making pivot tables, before you're working with data, is to learn how to clean up your data. A lot of times people, especially like same thing with Google form, when people put like last name and the Google form asks for like last name, comma, first name, like I'm the guy that puts like my last name, then an actual comma, then my first name, and you're not sure. So a lot of times when you're cleaning up data, it's really, really important to make sure that everything's consistent. So if you go to the next tab here, there's a lot of data here, but we'll be mainly focusing on this address, city, state, and zip code here. And I'll be showing for the MacBook users, it should be, I don't know the shortcuts for that, but I'll show you where it is on all the ribbons. So you can come along with that. So let's see here. Your goal here is separate address, city, state, and zip code while making sure all the capitalizations are correct. So let's get some space to work with here. And you want to get a few more columns to work with. So Alt IC, Alt IC, Alt IC, Alt IC. So let's just zoom out for everyone can see. And let's just make it smaller. There's a shortcut to make it the column smaller for Windows, I'll show that in a little bit, but for now, you can just make 4 new columns either through doing the insert here or doing a shortcut of Alt-IC. All right, so now our next step is to separate all the data here. So something that you can see here is everything separated by a comma. So a lot of data will be like this. And what you want to do is, let's just first start off with highlighting everything. So what you want to do is you want to get to the bottom of the data, right? So you're holding Control and Shift and go all the way down to hide all the data. And now you're working, you want to use something called, it's called text to columns right here. And you can click on it and you use the limited function. Is basically you're looking for commas to separate each field. And you're gonna click on the comma here. So like you're basically telling Excel to, you're separating each item by this comma. So it can find out like, so it can separate by the comma basically. And you can click next. And everything here, you can just leave general, but the destination, you can just click the box right next to it and you can click finish. So as you can see here, it separated everything really nicely. And everything here is like what you need from here. So yeah, but now the next step is, as you can see here, where do you find the text column? Yeah, perfect. So first of all, you want to hide this whole, you want to hide the whole thing here first, everything, and you want to go to the data ribbon here. So it should be the same on MacBook, and it is in the same place. So data, and you want to go find the text to columns here, which you'll be clicking, and you will click the delimited option here, next, separated by commas. So if the text instead of commas was semicolons, you click this instead, but you can see it like changing down like here. Yeah, so next, and then you would pick the box that you want all of information to be stored in, and this would be the box right next to it here. Is that better, Faith? Yes, all right, perfect. So now what we want to do is kind of fix up all the information here. So I'll just point out the problems for each category. For the address, things aren't capitalized properly. For this, for the city, there's a space beforehand. You can see a little space right here. And that's because when you have commas, usually you have a space after the comma. So the space comes into here, comes into the city, and for the state, not everything is capitalized. And for the zip code, as you can see here, 00462, it gets rid of the 0 here. And we want zip codes to be a full 5 digits. So I guess we can start off with the zip code. So what you want to do is you want to highlight everything. And then what you want to do is, there's an option called formatting. So if you go to home, the home ribbon, you go to format here, and you go to the bottom, which is format cell, you can find an option in special for just specifically zip codes. So this is how you can get the full 5 digits, and you double click that and you get the 00462. So I'll do it again for everyone. So you want to highlight the whole thing, everything, which using Control and Shift and the down arrow key. And you're gonna go back to the home ribbon, go to format right here, go to format cells, special, and there's already one for zip codes here. And if you're on Windows, a faster way to do it is to hide the whole thing and do Control-1, and you can find that here. But that's only if you have Windows. So now that everyone hopefully has their zip code in the 5-digit range, we can move on to working on fixing all these things, all the addresses, city and states. So let's add a few more columns to get some more space to work with. Let's fix the address here since it's the most simple one. Something that you can use in Excel is called the proper, which we'll see. You see here, it says convert each text string to a proper case. So the first letter of each word is converted to uppercase. How do you add zeros? Okay, I can go over that again. The zeros it's not really adding zeros. It's just making sure that the format is consistent with zip codes. So you're hiding the whole thing. Then you're going to, let me do it again for you. You hide the whole thing and you on the home string here, home ribbon, you go to format and you go to the bottom called formatting cells. And this goes special and zip code. So you can do things like you can have currencies, like you can choose negative numbers, can be red or parentheses, or just things like that. But in this case, it will be special and zip code to keep 5 digits here. Does that answer your question? If yes, I'm going to move on. So back again here, you want to fix the address here, right? So you want everything to be capitalized in the beginning. So something that you can do is proper. And same thing you do, once you get the formula in, just do parentheses, and then you can move over to this box here and close parentheses. As you can see, it cleans up all the data to make every first word capitalized. And you want to move the same formula down all the way down. And I showed that through Control D. So you want to hide this whole entire column, but you realize if you do Control down, it moves you down to the bottom here. That's like 100K. So what you want to do is go to the box next to it, go Control down to the bottom of the data set, and then go to the right. So you know you're at the bottom of the data set completely, and do Control Shift up. So you're hiding everything in this box here. So it makes it a lot more simple than just holding your mouse and like scrolling down all the way. You can do that too, but as you can see, we have a lot of data. It takes like, I don't know when it's gonna end. So, holy, you just have to wait a little bit. All right, perfect here. And then you can just do Control D and it brings the formulas all the way down. So here, Velvet Shadows, you can see that it is fixed right here with capitalized V, capitalized S here. And once again, what you're doing, I'll bring the formula back up for you guys. It is proper, then the box that matches the address here. Proper F4 in this case. All right. And then let's add a few more columns to work with. And now we can work on the city. So as I said before, the city has a little space beforehand that makes data a little hard to work with. So first of all, you want it to be proper, capitalized properly, and then something you can use is trim, and that gets rid of the spaces beforehand and like all the messy things around that. So trim here, and then you go over to the box that has the city, and make sure you have double parentheses as you do have a function in a function. So that's how you're moving down here. And then same thing as here, as the thing previously, you're gonna go down to the bottom data set, Control Shift all the way up, and move the formula down all the way. So that's how you're getting all the data sets here. Yeah, so now there's no more spaces in the beginning and everything's capitalized properly. Yes. Any questions so far? Good. All right. And for city here, you want to make it all capitalized. So proper, if you do proper for this one, it's only going to capitalize the first letter. And that's not what you want for cities. You want both capitalized. So what you want to have is upper and then trim, because there is a space before it as well. And you just want to have this box, this here. And now it's fixed. So the function is upper, trim, and then the desired box. So upper will make everything capitalized and trim will take away that space in the beginning. And same thing as always, go down to the bottom, hide the whole thing, and bring that formula all the way down. So you have everything. So if everyone's, I'll give it like another 10 seconds before we move on. So yeah. If you have any questions, just feel free and unmute your mic to ask or just type it in the chat. But so far we have everything cleaned up. There are no spaces in the beginning. There aren't any, everything's capitalized properly so far. So everything's looking good. But the next step is you want to paste all information here back into its original box here. But you can't really copy and paste as these are all formulas essentially. So if you copy and paste, it's not going to go properly. So if the next step is to hide everything again, so everything's hidden, and you're going to do Control C or copy or Command C, copy, and you see the little like caterpillar things, like going around. So what's next is once you have this here, you go to the paste here. So if you see that, if it's not copying, if you didn't click Command C or Control C, if you hide everything, oh, don't move it, please. If you have this doesn't really light up for you. So what you want to do is hide everything and copy it. So you have the caterpillar lines. And then now the paste is highlighted for you. And you can just go to the drop down box here. And there's a little option called paste special. And you want to paste it as values here. So this will make it so it's no longer a function, but the actual value that's on here right now. And you click OK, and you can see here that everything is the actual phrase instead of the function. So you're doing the same thing for every box here. So copy, go down here, paste special, and then values. Okay, and for this one here, I can show you guys the Windows shortcut. I think it's Alt ESV. So you hide everything, Control C, and you go Alt ESV. So the V stands for value, so it just goes down to here, and you can click OK, and now it's all perfect. It's nice and beautiful. Everything is capitalized, everything's a value, and everything's no extra spaces. So is anyone confused by the paste as value, or is everyone looking okay? I get a thumbs up. All right, I got 1 thumbs up, 2, 3. Show it again. All right. So I'm just going to Control Z to get back. So right here, it is a function here, and you can't copy it into any other boxes. So what you want to do is hide everything. So Control Shift down arrow to hide everything. And you want to copy. So whether it's Command C or Control C to make sure there's caterpillar lines, and go to the top left here with paste and paste special values, and then leave all this here. Just don't need to know any of that stuff, and just click OK. And that will help you, that will make it so they're all the actual values of the function. So now you want to move everything from here to here. Something you can do is Control C and then paste it here and go back and delete the row here. But something that's faster is to cut. Cut is kind of like you're moving it over, and then right when you paste it on, it delete that column for you. So I'll just show you. So you want to hide everything, and for cut it's Control X. I'm thinking it's Command X for Mac, but then once you click Control X here, you go back to the desired column you want to paste it in, and Control V. As you can see, it deletes this column here for you already. So same thing here. You want to hide everything. And then you want to go back to this box, Control X here, and go to this box and do Control V. And same thing here, Control X. Over here, Control V. So now your data set, you have your address, your city, your state, and your zip. So this is how you clean up data to make it like what you want. And yeah, so now you have all these dirty, messy, weird spaces that you don't need. I showed you guys how to add columns at Alt-IC or just doing this here, insert. So how do you delete columns efficiently or faster? You can delete like this, of course, but on Windows, if you do Control Space, it highlights the whole column for you here. Yes, Adrian, you have a question?
Hi, sorry to interrupt. I just had a quick question. So you know how you're merging the columns, right? So let's say on an Excel sheet, if you have a given formula, like a certain formula that you already typed in, if you merge the columns, would it affect the formula on Excel?
So I wasn't merging columns. I was taking the values here and then just moving it over to another column.
Right, right. Oh, okay. All right. But
Yeah. And
even
you,
if right, sorry, but even if you were to do that, and like let's say there's a formula, right?
yeah.
Would it affect the formula on Excel?
I don't remember what it does. So let's see. Let's say you have NW back here, and you want to do upper here. Let's say you copy and you paste it here. Yeah, it doesn't work out well. So you have to make it as a value before you're copying, moving it around, copying and pasting it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. All right. So you want to get rid of these columns, as I was saying before. On Windows, you can do is Control Space. This helps you hide the whole column, and you just hold Shift and go to the right. It's the same concept as I said, moving around Excel. The Shift hides everything along the way, and you can do Control minus to delete everything. Or if you're just doing it on Mac, or if you just don't want to use shortcuts, you can just hide everything and delete it. So that's how you kind of clean up your data on Excel, and if you have a certain goal with your data, like you want to search through only the address here, you can hide the whole column and do like Control F or Control F. Where is it? Control F, and then find and replace. So if you had it all in here, it'd be a lot messier, but separating it out will make it a lot easier for you to go through your data and figure out what's important and what's not. So far, is everyone good with separating this data here? So next, I'll be going into just some of the simple functions you can do here. So this one. I actually don't know how to say this word, so I'm not going to say it. I just say concat. I don't know how to say it, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, so instead of separating our boxes out to get individual values now, let's say you want to combine it together, right? Because first name, last name, you want to have things together. So you want first, last. How will you do that is get the equal sign concat parentheses, and you get the first value you want. In this case, it's the first name, comma, and then you're back at this box now, and you go to the right, oh, sorry, left, and you find the last name and close parentheses and enter. But as you can see here, it literally just puts them together. So what you want to do is do the same formula, concat, and then have first name, comma, and then like quotations in the space, so that the formula knows that there's a space between the two values, comma, and then the last value is your last name, and ta-da, that's my name. And then you can just highlight everything and then Control D to move all the functions down. Beautiful names, look at that. But yeah, that's how you bring things together instead of the last thing is taking things apart. And yeah, so why don't you guys try, I want you guys to try doing city, comma, space, state. I'll give you guys like 2 minutes to do it, but yeah, try to do this with the concat function. And when you're done, type in the Zoom chat what you typed in for the formula so I can see if anyone got it. Anytime anyone gets it, don't be afraid. If you get it wrong, it's okay. No one here is gonna yell at you. All right. I'll probably give another like 30, 40 seconds, and then we can just go into the answer for it. Actually, you should just ask it so everyone can know it, bro. Yeah, like this. So once again, how you add a space is that you have parentheses and the space in the middle here between each value. So you know that the formula knows that there's a space between the first value of this box and the second value of this box. So that's how you add the space there. But I guess I can go into city now. So if you do concat, and then first is city, and then you have a comma after city, so parentheses, or not parentheses, quotations, comma, quotation, and then comma for the next value. There's a space, so quotation, space, quotation, comma for the next value, and the last one is the state here. So I'll open it up again. That looks horrible, but I'll try to break it up for you. The first box, E5, is the city. The second value is the comma here, which is quotations, comma, quotation. That adds the comma between city and state. The next value is quotation, space, quotation, which is a space after the comma. And then the last one is state. So that's how you would get, to do that. Like that. And we can just go it down that. So that's how you would make it. That's how you bring things together. And as we said before, you want to, these are formulas essentially. Does concat EF5 work? Oh, maybe that's faster. Yeah, oh, so smart. So let's just take this out. Oh, that's so much more efficient. Yeah, yeah, you can do that, guys. Don't add too many quotation marks. What you can do is, where did it go? Oh, here. So you have the first box here, quotations, comma, and then the space, quotations, comma, and the second value. So that's a lot more efficient. And yeah, good job. See, this is how you get started with Excel. You start getting curious about things, hopefully, and you start testing things out and Googling, Redditing, everything. So now the same thing here. You have everything here as a function, and you just want to copy it, go to paste, paste special, paste as value to make sure that everything's the actual value, not the function. And once again, the Windows shortcut is Alt ESV. So you want to cut everything, Control C, copy, Alt ESV, and then it highlights everything here. And another thing that really helps when you're working with a lot of like phrases or words in Excel is having the proper width for your column. Like that can help a lot, especially like here, you can see how my emails are like poking into the other box. And if you have like another column here, say like, I don't know, gender, it doesn't look nice. So something you can do is you can highlight, so you can do the control space, or you can highlight this, all of this here, and you can go to format, and you can do auto column width, and that will make it so everything fits to the longest word here. So that makes it a lot cleaner. And yeah, the Windows shortcut would be high in everything, and you can do Alt OCA, which is auto, and then Alt OCA is auto, and Alt OCW is you're actually deciding what width it is. So if I was to hide everything and go to on the home ribbon format, then column width, you have an option here to like put it 30. That's how it would look. So yeah, making your columns like fit everything you have in there is really nice. It's not always an option, but this definitely helps with reading text. So yeah, that's concat. It's really useful in a lot of times when like even for Google Forms where people are putting different boxes and you need to combine it together later on, you can use this there too with your information from your Google Forms to Google Sheet. Next will be sum ifs. So this is like you're adding things together if there's a certain requirement. So for this example, I want to know a number of toys everyone has, but like you can't have toys if you're over the age of 30. That's like not right. So I want to make sure that I'm only counting people with toys that are under the age of 30. So I'll run it through first. So the function is sum ifs. Sum ifs, parentheses. Now they give you like a little like formula thing you can read here. Sum range, criteria range one, criteria one. Like I don't understand that. Yeah, so that's confusing. So how I'm gonna phrase it is, first, you're gonna highlight the data that you want to add up together. So in this case, I want to know the number of toys people have. So shift down everything here, and then you can put a comma. The next thing is, what's the next criteria? Well, they have to be under the age of 30. So you go to the box with age and you highlight that column, and then you do another comma. And next is, what's the criteria? Well, I want them to be under 30. So quotations less than 30. And then just for fun, only from New York, right? You only want people from New York. So you want to hide this whole set here, and you would do New York, like that. And close parentheses, like that. So let me close it in a little bit so you guys can see. Yep. So I'll go over it again. So the first thing you want to do is sum ifs, and then what data do you want to add up? In this case, number of toys. And then next is, okay, now you want to have criteria data, and then the actual criteria, and then criteria data two, criteria two. In this case, well, we can do the other way. So you want to have people from New York only, this data, comma, New York, comma. Now you want to make sure that they're under the age of 30 here, comma, less than 30, like that. So this helps when you have a lot of information, but you're trying to filter through all the information you need to find like when you're doing, this is a lot of like data analysis stuff when you want like, let's say you want data only for people from California or people only from like a certain zip code or something. So this is really useful for those situations. And here's a bigger example of that. Let me make it bigger here. So if you go to the right side, this is a bigger set of data. It's more representative of what you'd be looking at when you're looking at a bunch of data. There's order number, date, driver's name, item, blah, blah, blah. And the first thing that I would do, as we learned in the previous set, is cleaning up data, right? You want to make sure that these are all capitalized. Like what if microwave here was like M? Then when you're searching through data, this is going to miss the capital M here. So you want to make sure that everything is a capital M or lowercase m. So in this case, everything is lowercase. I'm just going to leave it for now. Since we went over clean up data already, you'll be using proper here and then copying and pasting or cutting and pasting onto the actual column here. But see if you guys can try to do, here, I'll do number of fridge items and then you guys can do the next one. So here would be ifs. So what do you want to know? You want to find out the number of fridge items. So this is the data set here. And once again, shifting and going down is like, my finger gets tired. So you shift control down to get the whole data set. And then that's what you want to count. Now, what are the criteria? Well, it has to be a refrigerator, right? So you want to go to item and then comma, and then quotations, refrigerator. So this is only counted if it's a refrigerator. And that's how you do that. So if you guys can go ahead and try washing machine items, that would be cool. So just go ahead and try that. And once again, if you can, type your function into the chat so that you can get appraisal, like you can get praise from everyone here, or if you get it wrong, we'll just pretend we didn't see it. So don't worry, just go ahead and do it. I'll give you like 30 seconds. Bless you. All right. If no one has the answer, I think we can. Oh, okay. I actually don't know if this is right. Let me. Okay, let's copy this. Sum ifs S14, S37, R14, R37, washing machine. Oh, don't do that. Looks right to me. Yeah. Woo, David Parker. All right, perfect. So the next one would be kind of the same thing here, but it's a little bit different. It's mainly just these last two ones are meant to show the difference between finding something that's like more, it's not searching the complete word. So for here, it's kind of the same, it's the same concept. You're looking for amount of items. Now what's the criteria? Well, it has to be transported by truck 4. So you're gonna get this whole data set here, and then making sure that it says truck 4. And you'll get that. But now, what if you only want to know if it's transported by trucks, just trucks, right? You don't need like there's planes here. It doesn't matter. Whatever number truck, it does like you don't care as long as it's transported by them. So it's the same thing essentially. So number of items copied here, comma, and you want to make sure you're looking at this category here. But now you can't just put truck and then quotations because none of these say just truck. So what you want to do is like add an asterisk here. So basically what that means is like it's kind of looking for a similar item. So let's say you do like find big or something. It's like it'll look for both big and B, capital BIG or something like that. So it's more generic and will search thoroughly through the data. So once again, it's sum ifs. You're looking to see the amount of item that's transported. Looking at what's the criteria is like you're trying to see um, if it's by truck, and then the criteria is truck, asterisk, quotation, and parentheses, and ta-da. But yeah, any questions? Everyone's looking good. All right. So that's all I have for today. These are mostly like the basic stuff that you can put into effect right away. Like when I first learned, like, where is it? Like bringing formulas down, I was legit just, oh, don't do that. I I was just going like I was just hiding things and just doing like bring formulas down like instantly. It's really applicable to like daily things when you're working with Excel. So all these things are like kind of the basics, and you can use these skills to bring into all the other work. And another tip is when you're using Windows, if you click Alt, you can see like all the shortcuts here. So if I click H, it goes to the home ribbon, and they have a bunch of other keys on top where you can find other shortcuts. So if I want to highlight this box here, like James Village, I just do Alt, and then I want to go to the home ribbon because that's where like the highlight button is, or the fill in button, H. And then once again, the fill in is H again, and it brings me automatically to the whole entire like fill in box. So that's how like you can look into like learning functions or like improving your efficiency. Because I know like if I want to unhide something, it's all H N. Like that's a lot faster than having to go here, and no fill it. So learning these shortcuts can make it a lot faster for you. But yeah, that's the end of Qual's Excel beginner. Oh, can you please go over the last one again, please? Can you show me or tell me like what was the last one? I kind of forgot. Is it
I mean, last one about the trucks. Yeah.
Trucks.
I was just confused. Where do we add that star sign?
After
Inside the quotation marks. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's all in the quotation marks here. So that should be where you're looking right there. Does that make sense for you? Because you're looking for like the beginning. All right, nice. But okay. All right, that's the end of Qua's Excel bootcamp. I hope it was really informative. And you can find me at UFA. We do have events on Tuesdays. And yeah, it's thanks to UBA for having me and for creating this event. Yeah, check out UFA later on. And if you have any questions, feel free to just message me like PM, private message me here or anything if you have any questions. But yeah, thank you guys. I'll hand it back to UBA.
Awesome. Thanks, Qua, for leading us in this workshop. I learned a lot about Excel. I use Excel in like one of my jobs, so it definitely helped me out. And I wish I took this class before Management 7. If you guys are taking that class, there's a lot of Excel there, or Stat 7. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it to Jay to take our Zoom photo.
So yeah, just before we end the event, I did want to take one final picture or one picture with everyone. So if everyone could take on their turn on their cameras, just so we can see your amazing and beautiful picture faces. And once again, thank you to Qua for hosting this amazing event. Great. I will take a picture in 3, 2, 1. Cool, and then one more picture. 3, 2, 1. Great, thank you.
And of course, I have our custom end of event slideshow. So let me just share that again. Just a stay connected slide so you guys can know where to find us after this event. Alrighty, so our next event is our case study workshop. So you guys can learn more about how to approach this case study and then actually work with one. That'll be next Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30. It might change from 6:30 to 8 depending on what our speakers has prepared, but yeah, be ready for that. If you want to register, there's a QR code you can scan. And then in the middle, there's all our social medias along with UFAs if you want to find them after this. And on the right, there's also our Discord QR code. We have weekly office hours where you can come chat with the board, hang out, get some either professional advice or just make new friends. So yeah, thank you for coming and we hope to see you next time.